Welcome to KBC Lunchtime News here on KBC Channel 1. My name is Giverson Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli. Start following us on our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. And of course, mine is at Giverson Maina. Now let's begin updating you on happenings within, of course, across the country. And we take you straight to parents and caregivers of persons with cerebral palsy have urged the government to subsidize medications and improve access to therapies that promote recovery and social reintegration. During celebrations to mark the World Cerebral Palsy Day at Nambale DCC grounds, the group led by Busia County Director of Persons with Disabilities, Metrine Wamalwa, called on the Ministry of Education to establish specialized schools for children who have severe cerebral palsy to help them build self-confidence and integrate into the society.
Busia, walemavu wa macho pia hawana shule yao katika kaunti ya Busia. Alafu napata pia walemavu wa miguu ama wa viungo wana shule za msingi lakini hawana shule za upili. Kwa hivyo inakuwa ni vigumu sana wao wakitaka kusoma lazima waende katika kaunti jirani ama kaunti zingine ambazo zina hizo shule.
Na dawa ya asubuhi, kuna dawa ya jioni wanameza dawa 3. Na kupata kwa hizo dawa imekuwa ni changamoto sana. Kwa sababu ukikosa pesa hautapata hizo dawa.
Now, from that, about 450 patients, including students and the elderly from Mombasa and Kwale counties, are set to benefit from a 2-week free eye treatment medical camp in Kwale County. The program, which is being run by Islamic Relief Kenya in collaboration with Islamic Relief Canada, Vision International Kenya and Kwale Eye Center and the Kwale County government, is targeting patients with eye cataracts. Cataract surgery has already been conducted on more than 50 patients in the ongoing exercise to screen those in need of treatment before undergoing operations at Kwale Eye Center Hospital. Residents in the region have been urged to go for screening at the free eye medical camp.
Kwa uwezo walitusaidia wafadhili. Sio mimi peke yangu, kuna wengine ndani hawana uwezo kabisa.
Naona vitu ambavyo sizielewelewi na hili likanitia hofu sana kwenye nafsi yangu. Mpaka juzi nilipopata habari za watu hawa ambao walikuwa wanataka kusaidia kwa watu kama sisi, mimi moja kwa moja nilichukua jukumu la kwenda kuwaona. Na kwa kweli wao waliniangalia na wakanipima na wakanieleza kwamba macho yako jicho moja lina shida ya utando.
First is basically to making sure that the 450 patients can see properly.
The main cause of cataract surgery, I would say in Kwale County, generally would be age. But again, we'd find there are other causes, maybe injury. We also find children being born with cataract surgery, that are congenital cataract surgeries.
Take you to Kilifi County, where teachers and students of Kilifi Junior Secondary School are calling on the government to ensure full distribution of competency-based education equipment to schools across the country, saying it will greatly enhance practical learning and improve academic performance. The appeal follows the donation of a portable science laboratory from the Sepo Institute in Kilifi County, which they say has come as a major relief. Students have previously been relying on neighboring schools for their laboratory lessons. The learners and teachers emphasize that the access to modern CB tools is essential in nurturing innovation and strengthening science education.
Hatuna computers, so sasa imetuletea lab, yes, I thank that. Lakini sasa kuna wengine wenye wanaenda kwa art and sports science, eti kila mtu anataka kwenda, lakini kuna wengine wanaenda huko na anataka kwa animators. So Kwa niaba ya shule tafadhali tuomba pia mlete computers.
The government, we are coming in as school equipment production unit to make this equipment available to institutions of learning. Why mobile laboratory? Mobile laboratory makes learning science exciting.
Ihimiza serikali ihimize isambaze hivi vifaa katika mashule ili watoto wetu wapate kujifunza masomo ya STEM wafanye vizuri.
Leaders have been urged to integrate the youth in finding solutions to challenges that are facing the country, including teen pregnancies, effects of climate change, gender inequality, and mental health. Speaking during this year's symposium dubbed Horizon 37, organized by Center for Study of Adolescents, the executive director Humphreys Valia said the youth should be given an opportunity to actively participate in the nation's development programs. The two-day symposium held at a Nairobi hotel brought together youth from different parts of the country to discuss sexual reproductive health rights among the youth.
Meaningful youth participation means that young people are not just asked that what they think. They are given the tools, the space, and the respect to act on what they think. And this symposium is a manifestation because it's been youth-led, youth-designed, and youth-driven.
Can such symposium be held in county level so that the county government can get to hear from young people to help them in their action plan on handling young people on matters of health, education, and other things? Because the generation is now different. Now we are in Gen Z generation. There's a way we want some of the services. So if they can create this symposium in county levels.
There's a lot of talk about supporting the girl child, but when you really go to the grassroots areas, there's still girls that have maybe trouble accessing sexual reproductive health and services, have trouble just getting fair or equal treatment with their male counterparts, even in accessing education, just a full attendance in the year. There's a lot of absenteeism by girls, which result from these small issues that girls face, such as lack of menstrual health services and such things, which really does put the girl at a step back.
Now, away from that, Kenyans have been urged to rethink how they prepare for retirement, with calls for stronger saving habits, wider social support, and housing models that preserve dignity in old age. Speaking in Nairobi during the unveiling of the Pension Club International, it was noted that too many citizens face the risk of poverty and isolation after leaving formal employment. A reality worsened by low savings rates and the absence of universal pension coverage. County Pension Fund Group Chief Executive Dr. Hosea Kili said the initiative seeks to create a community where members can access discounted services, invest collectively in retirement housing, and build social circles that help fight loneliness and depression in later years. By bringing together students, informal sector workers, professionals, and retirees under one umbrella, it also aims to change cultural attitudes towards saving and making retirement planning a mainstream conversation in the country. Take a look.
In retirement, people tend to become or feel useless because they are not needed anymore. They are no longer called sir or madam or this and that. They find that they are not being invited. Most of the time, your telephone number is silent. Your phone is not silent for a long time. You wonder what has happened. Where are the friends? The key thing is, how can you maintain your circle of friends in retirement so that you don't feel lonely?
But I think it's also to encourage the young people to start saving early, and that's why I think the membership is open to all ages of the society, and to save and retire well. The life expectancy in Kenya is improving, and so you can imagine if you don't have decent savings and you're living off a very low pension, life can be very challenging as you go into the future. But pension is an income, and this sort of people who retire also deserve to be recognized as income earners. And I think that's really why the Pension Club International wants to do this.
The older people have done their decisions, they are where they are, we cannot change that. So we have to find a way of helping them. So PCI is one of the ways of helping them. And savings on their shopping, savings on their medical insurance, whatever they spend money, even the little pension they have now, that's one way they're helping them. But I think PCI for me is more importantly for those who are working, those who are finishing high school, those who are in the university, so that now you create that foundation so that you don't become a burden in the future.
To matters education now, 17 students from Mombasa County have been awarded full university scholarships to pursue various courses of their choice in Indonesia. That's right. The scholarship program funded by Indonesia Aid through the Indonesian embassy in Kenya identifies and supports outstanding students through a competitive selection process. Speaking during the awards ceremony held in Kizigo, Mombasa County, Indonesian embassy, or rather ambassador to Kenya, Adi, commended the county for its continued commitment to education and for supporting applicants in the process.
Nimekuwa nikitamani sana kufanya nursing mpaka nikapatana na this opportunity ya TIA scholarship, and I promised that whenever that nikienda huko nita make my mother proud and make the county government of Mombasa proud.
I just went for fun, and then this opportunity came through their partnership with Mama Salma from the Dream Team. Wallahi, we thank them very much.
Indonesia's cooperation with fellow developing nations, including Kenya, as we walk together toward a more prosperous future. I also believe that the future of Kenya and Indonesia relations lies in your hands, students, awardees, younger generations. Beyond your personal academic journey, this scholarship carries wider significance.
Education on stakeholders in Samburu County are raising concerns over the shortage of tablets and other essential digital learning materials that are slowing down the rollout of digital education in schools. The concerns come as learners from St. Paul's Primary School in Mararal continue to share limited devices under the competency-based education. Samburu County Director of Education Abraham Kenei says the digital education program will only succeed if all learners, including those from pastoralist communities, are given equal opportunities to access ICT resources. Take a look.
Partnership of this Raspberry Foundation is actually ensuring that no child is left behind, especially in ICT, so that we can be at par and compete well with the rest of the Republic.
Something the government can do is to improve those tablets, even the ones that have already been delivered to schools. They need to put them working.
And I change focus to matters politics now, where Orange Democratic Movement Secretary General Edwin Sifuna and Deputy Party Leader Godfrey Otsotsi maintain that Party Leader Raila Odinga is well, dismissing claims that he had been taken ill. Speaking in Busia County, the two also condemned a section of opposition leaders for spreading misinformation that there are two camps within the ODM party with the intent to blackmail the broad-based government.
Everybody to respect the privacy of the health of individuals, and as has been said before, whenever Mzee has had health challenges, he has always spoken out. His spokesperson has spoken out. As SG of ODM, I do not speak on the individual health of members of the party. That is not where my mandate is.
Kiongozi wetu wa chama cha ODM, Mheshimiwa Raila Odinga ako imara. Hata leo asubuhi niliongea na yeye akiwa gym. Je, mtu mgonjwa anaweza kuwa gym? Kwa hivyo wale wawachane na sisi, wawachane na chama cha ODM, na pia ODM, there is no vacuum in ODM party. Hata kama Mheshimiwa Raila hayuko, sisi viongozi wa chama cha ODM tuko.
Now from Busia we take you to Kiambu County, where a section of Boda Boda operators in Githunguri, Kiambu County, have expressed a concern over the increase in crimes targeting motorbike riders after one of them was brutally murdered and his motorbike stolen, sparking widespread panic among them. Speaking in Githunguri town, the operators said incidents have increased in recent days and called upon the security agencies to act and stop the incidents before they escalate. Residents are also urging the government to increase patrols in areas deemed to be dangerous to ensure the safety of Boda Boda operators and residents in general. And now we go to Nanyuki in Laikipia County, where in an effort to end retrogressive cultural practices among pastoral communities, more than 25 junior secondary school teachers drawn from arid and semi-arid areas have been sensitized to become girls' rights champions in the regions. Speaking during a two-day sensitization workshop in Nanyuki, Laikipia County, the teachers highlighted how girls from those areas continue to lag in education due to early and forced marriages, female genital mutilation and teenage pregnancies, among others. The sensitization aims to promote learning in pastoral areas and minimize the cases of school dropout associated with outlawed cultural practices.
Wasichana wetu wanauzwa kwa at tender age, wanapeanwa wakiwa wadogo hata kabla hajajua maneno ya ndoa ni nini. Alafu challenge ya pili ni tohara. Wanatairiwa na shatairiwa in Pokot community, mtoto akishatairiwa ni kupeanwa hata kama ametairiwa na miaka 9 amepeanwa hivyo, anaozwa.
Some girls, especially from the pastoral communities, where there are these boys who move from a certain stage to, they are called warriors. When these young girls come across them, they try to intimidate them, rape them, and then at the end of the day, these girls now become depressed. Some of them even drop out of school.
Tunaongea na wanafunzi, tunaongea na walimu, tunaongea na pia wazazi ndio waweze kuelewa, so inakuwa holistic. Lakini kama sisi hatuko day to day, huyu mwalimu yuko shule kuengage na school management, kuengage na jamii yenye iko hapo, anaweza reach out haraka kwa mwanafunzi.
I take you back to Busia County, where the Senate took its plenary sittings to that particular county that is bordering Uganda. And our very own Gladys Mungai is there on standby live to update us on what's happening on that particular area of the country. Gladys Mungai, if you can hear me, bring us to speed.
Good afternoon to you, Giverson, and like you indeed put it, we are coming to you live from county number 04 0. I'm in Busia County, where the Senate for the better part of this week will be in Busia County for season 4 or chapter 4 of Senate Mashinani, having had similar sittings in Uasin Gishu, in Turkana and in Kitui. Busia was lucky to be among the marginalized counties that have this season to have Senate Mashinani held in the assembly and in the whole county, so to speak. So this is day 3 of Senate Mashinani, but that notwithstanding, on the side of the plenary, Senate Mashinani has entered the second day. And different committees have been moving around Busia County, technically trying to find out issues of devolution. How is devolution working in Busia County? And among the issues that has really featured during the committee sittings and committee meetings, as well as plenary of the Senate, that prompted the leader of the majority party to bring a motion to discuss that matter on the floor of the Senate, is the issue of cross-border trade. I really don't want to speak much, but on set, I have the chair of the Senate Committee on Trade, Senator Boy Juma. Senator, we are live on KBC Channel 1. You are the chair of the Committee on Trade. You have been moving around the Malaba border posts. Talk to us. What have you gathered so far?
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to say our Committee of Trade and Industry and Tourism, this is our second day, third day in Busia, and we started our day yesterday we went to Malaba border post with our committee, and we found a lot of issues regarding the border. For example, like this CT scan, transporters were complaining that there's a very long queue for trucks to cross over to Uganda. When we asked the reason, they were saying that there's a lot of problem during our counterpart country in Uganda. So those are the issues, and so many issues that we're discussing about it. About manpower also, they have a very few staffs in the offices. So we recommended as a committee that because even today we went to Busia border, and we find a lot of issues, and it's good that the majority leader brought this motion today. It was an appropriate time, and we came up with a resolution as a committee that we need to summon the Waziri, the Minister for Trade and Tourism, Minister for Trade and Industrialization. We need to summon the Director General of KRA. We need to summon the Director of Kenya, all of them, so that they appear in the committee and give us way forward. Why is there a problem of trucks to around here? Because of the road or because of the jam? They should do something about it. This is what we've been finding here.
This is the 4th session of Senate Mashinani. Yes. Talk to our viewers. What is the importance of the Senate moving to different counties? Besides you senators being here and interacting with the common wananchi, what is it in it for residents of Busia?
Let me say this. You see, the most important function of a senator is to go and see the oversight of the counties, and this is one of our major role which we have come here so that we can interact with our Nanchi, see the projects and what are the problems that are facing in this particular county. And we find so many problems in this county. For example, like roads. You find them roads are not in a good position. There are so many problems that, like, for example, like the unfinished projects. So these are the things that we are coming to Mashinani to see what are there to be, what is that we should have done for the people of Busia.
Finally, Senator Giverson, recently, I think on Monday, we attended a public participation hearing of the Justice and Legal Affairs Committee that was meeting residents of Busia County to consider their views in regards to the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2025. And one of the issues that members of the public raise is that they are hoping that moving forward, their thoughts and their points that they raised during that public participation session will be factored in. We are coming from a situation where members of the public feel they give an opinion about something, and you members as lawmakers, you go and do the opposite. As the chair of trade who has listened to their hue and cry in regards to matters cross-border trade, what can you tell residents of Busia and specifically business people?
Let me tell them, because even today morning and yesterday, we had the opportunity of giving them a time so that they can give us their view, what's the problem they're facing here. For example, there are some other women, they were saying that there are no proper permanent sheds to do their business. They were complaining that there are no toilets. They were complaining. There's so many factors. But let me assure the residents of Busia that whatever we have captured here, it will be done for sure. They should not worry about it. We are going to do which is every possible so that the people of Busia could get their rights.
Thank you, sir. Giverson, that is the chair on matters trade, standing committee on trade from the Senate, are technically telling us what the committee that has been moving around from Malaba and the one-stop border to try and oversight matters to do with devolution. Among them, one of the key issues in Busia County being the cross-border trade. It is a matter that has featured heavily during this morning plenary sitting of the Senate. Allow me to hand it over back to you. We'll be bringing you more news from Busia County. For now, it's back to you in studio.
Oh, thank you, Gladys. That is Gladys Monga, your very own, covering the Senate Mashinani live from Busia County. From that report in Busia County, we take a short commercial break. Don't go too far. There's still so much more coming your way.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice, we
have to do it twice.
Delila. Mbona sasa umenyamaza, huwezi kusema? Mama, nimwambie mimi mwenyewe. Kwani umekuwa bubu? Kama ni vita vitakavyonisaidia, basi na Maina, hujui unachozungumzia, mtu si mwenzio, hata mimi namfahamu.
Mimi mgeni huyo sikumwalika na hata sina haja naye.
Ni nini msasi?
The bottom-up economic transformation agenda is not just a plan on paper.
Manifesto tulioandika na tukauzia Wakenya na wakatupigia kura, sio gazeti ya kufunga nyama.
It is happening on the ground across Kenya.
Enda subabogi Moriega Jodhurwa untie Mogani Pamjambo.
In agriculture,
Turkana wameamkia mambo ya ukulima sasa.
On our roads,
lami black anaingia hapa anagausha hapa, wacha bana.
In health,
all our patients are in SHA 100%.
In housing,
kutoka nyumba za mabati kuleta nyumba kama hii ya ghorofa ni kitu ya mzuri sana.
In our markets,
umetukumbuka sisi mama mboga, shida zetu umezitatua,
and so much more.
It's a good thing the government inakuja mashinani na this is all what we have been requesting.
This is transformation. This is impact. This is delivering the plan. Every Friday on KBC Channel 1.
Now, welcome back. You're watching Lunchtime News. And Kenya has planted over 1.06 billion trees since the start of the 15 billion tree by the year 2032 ambition in December 2022. Environment Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Barasa says the government targets to plant another 100 million tree seedlings across the primary schools in the country during the Mazingira Day celebrations slated for the 10th of October. Deborah urged every Kenyan to use the national holiday to go back to their primary school, donate and plant fruit trees as a means of reaching the 30% tree cover target by the year 2032.
A day where Kabuyefwe Primary School in Trans Nzoia County will host the national celebrations. Kenyans have been rallied under the clarion call to Rudy Primo to donate fruit trees, not to clean environment.
The choice of fruit trees this year is intentional. The fruit trees are life-giving. They feed, they shade, and they sustain. They provide nourishment for our children, income for schools and families, women and the youth, and they provide shade that cools our classrooms and improves learning environments.
Environment Cabinet Secretary Dr. Deborah Baraza says government officials have been assigned different schools to spearhead the planting of at least 2,000 trees in each school, with the surplus being given to students for planting in their homes to further cultivate an environment-conscious demographic. Kenya Forest Service and the Kenya Forestry Research Institute will avail the seedlings for the exercise, but for those that need to be purchased, the National Youth Service will be selling them at 150 shillings per seedling.
We have been propagating fruit trees suited for the various sites. We talk about species to site matching, and just to tell you that when you plant your trees and your fruit trees, kindly record them on Jazamiti.
We have informed our officers to avail the seedlings for planting across the country in the schools, and they have been mapped already. If we plant 100 million, in another few years, we are going to have trees worth 10 trillion in this country. So trees are valuable, and let us protect them.
While expressing optimism in achieving the ambitious target of planting 15 billion trees by the year 2032, Forestry Principal Secretary Gitonga Mugambi said fruit trees will also go a long way in improving Kenya's nutritional status and urged citizens to care for the trees after planting to ensure they survive.
Friday is just the starting. We need to have the exercise, learn throughout the rainy season so that we plant as much as possible.
The ministry has also launched agroforestry and bamboo development strategies to scale up tree-based value chains, create green jobs and build local industries that link tree growing with livelihoods. Isufar reporting for Lunchtime News.
And our Archbishop Professor Eugene Kavune, president of the Peace Movement in Africa and advisor in Geneva, Switzerland, has urged the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IBC) to partner with churches on voter registration and public awareness to achieve the targeted numbers across the country. Kavune further said churches play a major role in society and there is need for IBC to intensify civic education, especially among unregistered youth. During the opening of the new Laikipia Peace Ambassador's CBO office, Archbishop Professor Kavune launched a renewed call for peace and civic responsibility in the region. He was accompanied by Ambassador Reverend Dr. Mathias, the Geneva-based president of Elections in the World, who is in Kenya on a peace mission ahead of the 2027 general election.
Serikali ikiongozwa na Daktari William Samuel Ruto tutangaze amani 47 county na tuhakikishe hii kura 2027 zinalindwa salama. Hiyo ndio lengo letu, na leo tumekuja hapa ni kusema kota ya uchaguzi ya Novel Perspective imekuwa hapa Nyahururu na tumefungua ofisi, tutasaidiana na wao tuhakikishe watu wamechukua vitambulisho, kwa sababu kama watu wachukua vitambulisho kura hakuna, kura zinakuwa kidogo. Ndio tunaomba kupitia kwa ofisi ya rais watukubalie tutembee 47 county, tutembee kwa makanisa, watoto wachukue vitambulisho.
On other matters, Corridors Justice, the Mavoko Law Court has dismissed an application by Machakos Governor Wavinya Ndeti seeking to revoke the bond of a resident accused of defaming her on social media, citing a lack of sufficient evidence. The ruling by a senior principal magistrate Barik Kuto means that the accused, identified as Felix Mambo, will remain out on bond as his defamation case continues before the Mavoko Law Courts. Governor Ndeti, who is the complainant in the case, had filed an application dated Monday, June 30th, 2025, seeking to have Mambo's 200,000 shillings cash bill revoked, claiming he continued to post defamatory content against her on social media platforms.
The accused person has denied any wrongdoing, and the parties filed their written submissions, which I have duly noted. They equally cited relevant authorities, which I have also taken into consideration. The purpose of bond is to ensure that an accused person attends court whenever is required. Further, for there to be compliance with its directives, so that justice can be done to both the accused person and the complainant. From what is presented before me, there are no compelling reasons to warrant cancellation or revocation of bond for the accused person, and therefore that application as presented has no merit, and I dismiss the same.
Over 3,000 Form 4 learners in day schools in Kipkelion East constituency have benefited from 5 million shillings worth of scholarships courtesy of the National Government Constituency Development Fund, NGCDF. During the check handover at the NGCDF offices in Londiani area, Member of Parliament Joseph Cherorot, who initiated the program last year, reiterated that the bursaries help the students concentrate on the national examinations. Kipkelion East Member of Parliament, or rather, he reiterated that bursaries help the students concentrate on the national examinations. Kipkelion East Kenya Secondary Schools Heads Association Chairperson Bernard Ngetich, who is also the principal of Achagaik Secondary School, said the funding will go away in facilitating the education of students from vulnerable families.
Tangu tuanze haya maneno ya Form 4 free day school, ningependa kusema kwamba kumekuwa na results, good results. Hasa wanafunzi kule wa madarasa wameongezeka. Ya pili, tumeona kwamba mashule zetu zimepata kufanya vizuri. Maana hii inasaidia mwanafunzi asifukuzwe nyumbani.
It's going to assist the principal in one way or another, making sure that those learners are in school 24/7. And they will be able to be guided, especially at this time of the day when the revision is going on.
And county where First Lady Rachel Ruto is speaking on the event of Mazingira Day celebrations. Listen in.
We secure not just their future, but the future of our nation. Under his leadership, Kenya is placing environmental conservation, climate action, forest restoration, and the protection of our land and biodiversity at the heart of development. Today, State House Nakuru is a stage where the voices of children ring loud and clear, where their ideas take root, and where the future of our planet is being shaped, not by experts in boardrooms, but by learners in classrooms. As a teacher, I've seen firsthand how art and creativity can shape young minds, inspiring them to love our planet, to see beauty in conservation, and to take the lead as stewards of the earth. When we launched Flama in 2023, we began with a simple vision: to help young learners' creativity visualize and express the environment through their own eyes and minds. The goal was to give children a platform to learn, love, and lead in matters environmental conservation. That vision has since grown into a movement, shaping over 2,000 schools and reaching nearly 1 million learners across all 47 counties, a new generation of young environmental champions. As we gather to celebrate the outstanding achievements of Flama 2025 winners, I would like to acknowledge the 2024 winners represented by Susan Lenoi, right there, Ian Kipruto, and Eminent Gaki. Let us appreciate them for their commitment to making a difference to our environment. I'm reminded of Wangare Maathai's timeless wisdom. It's the little things citizens do. That's what will make the difference. My little thing is planting trees. Through Flama, we are nurturing millions of little things. Each act of care, each innovation, each tree planted, building into something extraordinary for our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, teaching has shown me that one lesson, one moment of inspiration can change the course of a child's life. Through the competency-based education, Our children are learning to express creativity, solve real-world problems, and take leadership not in the future, but now. Flama bridges this learning with action, reinforcing environmental education, innovation, and community service in ways that make learning come alive. Flama is part of a bigger story unfolding in our nation. Under the leadership of President William Ruto, Kenya has made a bold choice to place climate action at the very heart of our national development. Through the National Tree Growing Restoration Campaign, our country has already planted about 783 million trees toward the ambitious goal of 15 billion by 2032. As the book of Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verses 6 reminds us, sow your seed in the morning, and at evening let your hands not be idle, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or whether both will do equally well. In that spirit, we continue to plant, to nurture, and to believe, knowing that every seed, every act of care brings us closer to achieving our goal of 15 billion trees. In support of this national goal, my office has committed to plant and grow 500 million trees by 2032, inspiring families, communities, and schools to take part in nurturing Kenya's green legacy. Sometimes when I think of 500 million, I think it's really a lot of trees, but we are committed to that. These are not just targets, they are seeds of hope, ensuring clean air, fertile soils, and a livable planet for every child. By nurturing young environmental champions, we are preparing them to inherit a greener Kenya. We are empowering them to build it tree by tree, idea by idea, action by action. Ladies and gentlemen, today, as we celebrate the winners of the 2025 Mazingira Awards, we are not just handing out trophies. We are passing on a torch of responsibility, creativity, and leadership to the young champions of this nation. When we trust our children with responsibility, they rise to the occasion. Our children are not just the leaders of tomorrow, they are the change makers of today. To our learners, you are the heartbeat of this movement. Your courage and creativity is shaping a greener Kenya. To our teachers, you are the silent architects of change, nurturing and inspiring these young minds. To our parents, thank you for raising children who care. To our partners, including the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Tourism and Wildlife, and all supporting organizations, thank you for believing in this vision. Together, we are not only teaching environmental responsibility, we are living it. So let us keep growing, let us keep greening, let us keep giving back to our planet. Mazingira yetu, mazingira yetu. Thank you. God bless you. God bless Kenya. As I go to sit down, once again, I just want to thank everybody. As I came here, looked at the learners and looked at the representation that had been shared with me from where all the learners and teachers have come from, I really thank God even for giving us safe journey mercies to Nakuru. Students have come from Garissa, they've come from Embu, they've come from Western Kenya. So we are so grateful that you are able to come. And I think, like we've said, Friday, we are going back to our primary school to plant trees. I think, Mheshimiwa Kiyika, now that Nakuru is raining, everybody should really go back to their primary schools. We want to encourage us that we go back to our primary schools and plant trees and fruit trees and kitchen gardens, and also do some beautification, make the compounds nice, plant some grass so that the learning environment can be good. Thank you very much. I also thought that next time, God willing, next year when we come for Flama, let's all be in green or brown. Green for our greenery and brown for our soil. Thank you so much. May the Lord bless you. When you go back, travel safe.
First Lady Rachel Ruto speaking in Nakuru County, presiding over the Mazingira Awards ahead of the Mazingira Day celebrations on Friday. And now former councillors of the defunct Homa Bay County Municipal Council have joined a national movement demanding government action on pensions payments and a one-off honorarium for retired civic leaders. The group wants the National Assembly to enact a law creating a framework for the National Treasury to disburse retirement benefits as recommended by the Interagency Task Force Committee. The proposal recommends that each former councillor receive a one-off payment of 1.5 million shillings and a monthly stipend of 30,000 shillings. A former Councillors Forum Secretary General George Omondi Ondiek said councillors who were elected through the same process as members of parliament, governors and presidents deserve a similar recognition and benefits.
Through the National Assembly can help us as councillors to enact a law so that we can have a legal framework to allow the government of Kenya through the Treasury to pay councillors a one-off honoraria of 1.5 million and 30,000 Kenya shillings monthly, as was agreed by the Interagency Task Force Committee. Why am I saying this? The same vote which was used to elect the MPs was the same vote which was used to elect the presidents, and so it was the same vote which was used to elect councillors. And so we are here joining the agitating for this so that we as councillors can also benefit from what other colleagues have benefited from. Because the MPs, the governors, or the deputy presidents are getting their pensions. Why not the councillors?
On matters business, Kenya is leading the push to digitize and harmonize credit scores across a common market for Eastern and Southern Africa bloc to ease credit access among entrepreneurs. Speaking exclusively to Channel 1, micro, small and medium-sized enterprises development principal secretary Susan Mangeni says harmonizing of credit scores will ensure SMEs access a credit across borders and reduce paperwork in the regional financial sector. Take a look.
88% of loans applied by MSMEs were approved by financial institutions as startups grappled with limited working capital. Regionally, entrepreneurs are faced with similar challenges as most lenders ask for collateral.
That credit history speaks about the credit worthiness, and that worthiness now becomes a collateral. So we are trying to build an infrastructure that can equip our people with digital collaterals.
PS Mangeni opines with digital credit scores built from mobile payments, tax records and online transactions, MSMEs would be able to prove their credit worthiness without traditional paperwork, making it easier to access financing and trade opportunities.
With enhanced infrastructure and thanks to the technology spread, you can actually be here and trading in New York. You can be here and trading in Malaysia. You can be here and trading in any parts of the world.
Governments and fintech partners have been advised to collaborate to generate data that can ease credit access.
Mobile spread is very good, over 70%, hitting over 70% in Africa. But we feel we still need to support our people to digitize properly, have the right digital tools that can enable them to support and sustain the global trade.
Once formalized, lenders can use the scores to assess risk quickly and fairly, while MSMEs gain access to working capital and trade finance they were previously locked out of.
And Kenya here is leading in the number of fintech. Now everybody is going digital lending. Even as in government, through the Hustler Fund, we have presented a platform where we can now get to track the consumer behavior or tendencies of our population that now will be crystallized in some sort of credit history. So every discussion that is going to happen tomorrow, the commitments which are going to be placed on the table are commitments which are facing the MSME sector.
Key areas that we should be looking out when this particular summit comes to a close is
commitments around access to affordable credit, commitments around pushing for trade within the COMESA bloc, and also the uptake of technology when it comes to digital operations in trade that are set to make MSMEs the center of socio-economic development for individual states as well as the regional bloc. I'm Regina Manyara. You have been watching KBC Channel 1. We are keeping tabs on the outcomes of the 24th COMESA Summit right here in Nairobi.
Now, thank you, Ray, for that report. Now, delays in the approval and commercialization of biotech crops has cost Kenya 20.3 billion shillings in missed revenue. Daniel Achalo, Senior Manager at African Agricultural Technology Foundation, says if adopted genetically modified crops can increase yield and reduce the country's food input bill.
The 20 billion is the total loss of the delay of adopting BT maize, BT cotton, and also late blight resistant potato. When we try to break down the three, you realize that maize takes the bulk of this. The loss associated with not adopting BT maize is around 11.3 billion.
Yes, definitely the cases. As I've said, we have had a lot of court cases. Some of them have been dismissed. Others are still active. And because of those litigations, basically the deployment of GMO technologies have been slowed down. We hope those cases will be determined in a short period of time, after which the authority is able to progress with its mandate to assess and make decisions on GMOs.
And now it's time to get sporty. The Kenya women deaf volleyball team is hopeful of winning a medal at the Deaflympic Games in Tokyo, Japan, despite being drawn in a tough pool. The upcoming games to be held from 15th to 26th of November in Japan. The Kenyan women have been placed in Group A alongside giants Italy, United States of America, and hosts Japan. Kenya was handed a wild card in the women's volleyball competition owing to its top position in Africa. Women's volleyball is among the 7 disciplines where Kenya will be debuting at the Deaflympics. The rest are tennis, table tennis, cycling, swimming, bowling, and of course badminton. Kenya will also compete in athletics, women's football, men's handball, golf, and women's basketball.
We are just aiming for gold so that we can make our Kenya proud. It is our first time to participate in Deaf Olympic, so the training has been amazing and everything is good. It has been a long journey, but we have arrived here. Deaf women team has been practicing for the aim of traveling to Japan, Tokyo. So the training has been good. We here just to show our skills and to show our training, and so that they can improve and achieve the international standard and represent our country and make our country proud.
Now, Spain are through to the semi-finals of the ongoing FIFA Under-20 World Cup in Chile after a one win over Ukraine. Pablo Garcia's 24th-minute goal was enough to see the Spanish side through to the last 8. In another match, Mexico secured a 4-1 win over Chile to advance to the last 8-2.
With 2,154 ranking points, the young Kenyan side now sits among the top 10 nations in the world thanks to an impressive performance at the Baseball 5 Youth World Cup, which concluded recently in Nayarit, Mexico. Team Kenya defied the odds, finishing 5th in the tournament, overcoming some of the sport's global powerhouses and capturing the attention of fans and analysts alike. Leading the global rankings is Cuba with 5,827 points, followed by Japan, France and Chinese Taipei, while Tunisia remains the top-ranked African team at the 5th place. It's worth noting that they finished 12th in Mexico, 7 spots below Kenya. It's a proud moment for Kenyan sports as the nation proves its potential on the world stage in a growing, fast-paced sport.
We have now included baseball through Kenya Institute of Curriculum Development into the senior school curriculum. So many schools from next year are going to adopt this sport and they will be using it as a sport within their curriculum system.
With the rising global recognition, the future of Baseball 5 in Kenya looks brighter than ever. For Lunchtime News, I'm Daniel Mwendwa.
That story concludes our Lunchtime News for now. My name is Giverson, Maina. Our sign language interpreter is Byron Abuli. On behalf of everybody who made this newscast possible, thank you for watching. See you and bye-bye.
Who do you love? Very good. Stacy, who do you want to marry? Oh my gosh. Will you marry me, please?
Yes.
Yes.
Wewe ngoja. Na wewe unaridhika kuolewa na huyu?
Analifika kabisa mheshimiwa.
Kukuuliza wewe. Unajua tunaweza fanya hii kesi ukiwa nje.
No. Ayendi mzuri bila natakana. Nasema hawezi kwa
mtoe nje. Lakini amesema hata mfanye nini ataolewa na huyu.
Ati kwisha. Ati nini?
Wanaongea Kijerumani. Amesema yeye ataolewa na huyu, upande juu shuke chini ataki huyo wako.
Mtoto amerogwa.
Sasa hii kesi imekuwa dismissed.
Lakini unaona hapo ni korogwa mheshimiwa.
Mimi sijui urogi, wewe kama unajua urogi mimi sijui.
Father in law.
Kisa.
Utakana? Yeye atanisaidia nini kuliko wewe? Mimi serikali kanambia nikutazame wewe na wewe unitazame mimi.
Mke wa mtu ni mke wa zoa. Ya afadhali angeenda mimi nitakupikia, nitakuwa kama huyu akaangalia mumewe.
Nitakupa na nitakununulia chochote utakacho bila kujali. Na hata usimwambie mumeo kama mimi nikununulia.
Tunakwambia utarudi urudi.
Mimi sirudi.
Sirudi. Sasa utamwachaje babangu mgonjwa? Na uliambiwa wewe uende huko kamhudumie. Nataka kusaidia jamaa zangu, usaidia nani? Uwa nini wewe una faida gani?
Sasa jumba sinema nitaenda na wewe ama nitaenda na yeye? Mimi si nimkaza mwanae.
Yaani baba akikwambia maneno hayo?
Si ni huyo hapo, muulize huyo, muulize.
Hujambo mpenzi mtazamaji, natumai ubuheri wa afya. Ni wiki nyingine tunakutana hapa katika kipindi chetu cha Mkulima, tukiwa tayari kujifunza mbinu tofauti